Oh, since when?
Bitch.
I'm my bad. Ryan, I'm sorry for what I said. It was really, really wrong.
And I'm sorry about the things I said about Avery.
But, bitch, you should have came to Richmond Studio, bitch! When I tell you.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Westy from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place in the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social media, Twitter and Instagram and Threads at A Connection TV. I'm here to talk about week 5 of Big Brother. Now, what I've realized that is easier for me to do because I'm not going to review all 3 episodes every week. I'm just gonna, depending on if something controversial happens in the live feeds and on social media and people talk about it, I'll talk about it throughout the week. But if not, I'm just gonna do a wrap up week, so to speak, with things that I can remember or things that are interesting to me. So I just got finished watching yesterday's episode, Thursday's episode. This is week 5 in Big Brother 25. And this particular season, the one thing that I can say about this season is that I love that the cast is diverse, 1, and 2, I love that there aren't any racially motivated decisions, anything racial happening where the black people are targeted and or the young people are winning all the time and they target the old folks. None of what usually happens in these Big Brother seasons are happening now, or at least not yet in BB25, and I'm appreciative of that. I know some people may look at what Cameron was trying to do by rallying all the white people to be in one group as what Kyle did last particular season, but the best part about it is that Cameron didn't mention that that was his intention. So we are left to assume that that wasn't his intention, which is what Kyle should have did. But anyways, I don't get any racial discrimination in this house in this season, and I'm really appreciative and loving that. The consensus is that the majority of the public still want Jared to be removed for utilizing the R word. But like I said in my video, not too many people understand that the R word has that much weight, okay? And it's interesting that people are like, well, he shouldn't have used it and he should know better and da-da-da-da-da. It's just interesting that people are expecting everyone to understand their concepts and their perceptions and their rules and regulations of the world, where the R word has not been a thing that long for people to catch on to it. You know what I'm saying? Even in that video, I explained that women don't like to be called female and why women don't like to be called female. I heard about that once or twice, but it's never been a thing branded into my brain to understand not to call a woman a female. Neither has it been branded into my brain for me to realize that the R word has that much weight with a lot of people and should never be said. So this is a lot been going on in the feeds, but let's get into the wrap up of this particular week. So there's been a lot of people wanting to protect America and saying that America has been mistreated, and there's been a lot going on with America versus Cameron and what really happened between them and why is America fixing her clothes when Cameron walks by. A lot of these things are left up to speculation, and people have been saying that the live feeds get cut whenever people talk about America and Cameron and what actually happened or whatever the case may be. So we still don't know what happened with America versus Cameron, but a lot of people are championing America's existence in the house and wanting to support her and feeling sad for her and sorry for her because she seemed to be going through a lot. But what I don't understand with some of the people on social media is why they aren't getting why Jared was annoyed or had felt like America should go on the block. By watching the episodes this week, even though they're edited and the producers are showing us what we need to see to further the story, when Corey tells Jared that America is thinking about putting up Izzy, Sari, or Felicia, it's a no-brainer why Jared is going so hard and wanting America to go up. You may not like Jared. You may think Jared is ignorant. You may think he's egotistical. You may think he's misogynistic. All of those negative things. He used the R word. All of those negative things. But his reasoning for wanting America to go up makes sense. And Corey is the reason that tells him. Like, Corey is the person that tells him this. And so it's just beyond me why everyone's like, oh, why does he have a hard on for America? If America says that she's going to gun for HOH and put up his mother, why would he not have a problem with that? Like, what? This makes no sense. Jared's like words and his energy towards America doesn't need to be so heightsome, but it just makes sense. And I was watching this, I'm like, okay, yeah, put her ass on the block. Like, what do we need to protect her for? They're not working together. America has no allegiance to him. Why do we care? Like, you know what I'm saying? America's not in any of the alliances that the moms or the women are taking, creating. So why am I worried or caring about America? What for? And if she's throwing competitions to give the win to Cameron, who I particularly don't really care for, why would I want her to be in the house? I'm so lost with why the public is not understanding that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just made no sense to me. And Jared getting beside himself with Corey, calling her the R word and blah, 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 and how she's just going to go up and this and that and the other. And then Corey's acting like, but then again, I guess Corey doesn't know how, Jared is in bed with Cirie, Felicia, and Izzy hardcore. But I'm just saying, on Jared's perspective, I get why getting rid of America makes sense. She worked so hard in the pressure cooker and gave it to Cameron. Both Cameron and America aren't on my side. So why would I want them in the house? That makes sense to me. And I'm excited and like loud because people were acting like they didn't understand Jared's reasoning. And I, until I saw the episode, didn't really get why he was gunning for her, but it made perfect sense. So, during this segment, Jared calls America the R word. That CBS doesn't show it on the TV, of course, and because they're not getting rid of him. And so, they just show the tensions and all of that between them. But I just really understood it. This was a long segment. It didn't even need to be this long. But I don't understand why people weren't understanding Jared's perspective on America. Makes perfect sense. And America even admitted that she is going after Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia. Anyways, let's move on. Red ends up breaking up with Cameron because Cameron speaks to Jared and tells Jared that, pretty much it's the two of them up on the block and that Cameron will work hard to make sure he's taken off the block, and he understands that something along the lines, Cameron did give up Red, and he didn't flat out say take Red out, but he basically played Red a little bit. Jared's throwing on the heavy ketchup though, and making it seem like Cameron was completely anti-Red, but that wasn't necessarily the case. So Jared running to tell that to Red is not Jared being messy, it's just Jared relaying the message. But the way he relayed the message made it seem like Karen just completely threw Red to the wolves, and that's not necessarily what happened, even though it kind of did happen. Cameron wins veto, and at this point, I'm rocking with Cameron. Not like I like Cameron as a person, but as a player, he's doing what he needs to do in the game, which is how my method would be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would be, everybody would love me like Cirie, but I would be ensuring my safety like Cameron. Cameron, y'all can't get rid of him. He's been on the block now, 3 to 4 times? He's won HOH twice now. He's won veto to pull himself off. Like, y'all can't get rid of Cameron. It would be the same thing for me. But people would just like me like Cirie, if that just makes sense. And so he ends up winning veto, and it's this conversation about who should go up. Jared mentions America. Then they mention Jag, because Jared did something so stupid. Matt tells Cirie about the whole power and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Cirie tells her son, because Jared is her son, about everything. And Cirie says, don't tell anybody about it. Jared run tells that and tells Jag. Then Jag run tells that and confirms it with Cirie, which allows Cirie to know that she can't really tell Jared much of anything. But then when Cirie tells Jared that, why did you tell Jag? Jared runs and tells Jag back again, not understanding the calamity that he will create by confirming with Jag that they are in cahoots with each other, Jared and Cirie. So Jared just does not know how to play this game with regards to people politics. And so he really played himself and his mom with acting like he could run down on Jag like that and be like, why did you tell people? I told you not to tell people. Like, you're just confirming that you and Sari have this thing. And then it's also confirming that Matt can't necessarily trust Sari because Sari's telling Jared what Matt is telling her. And Jag now has all this information. So not only does Blue know that your mom is in the house, but Jag also knows that you're very, very close to Sari. Like, what are we doing, Jared? I don't understand. Like, this makes no sense. But Jag is put up as a pawn again, up against Red. Who's going home? I don't know, because this house is all over the place. This is the most indecisive group I've ever seen. Legend 25 come together to ensure Cameron and Red that Jag is the one to go home, which I don't understand why they did this. Like, it's just, again, all over the place. Because I feel like they solidified with Jag that he's safe and like run it down his throat, even though Jag is doing way too much and just offering up too much to like really put himself in a hot seat, especially with Jared, and Jared's the HOH, and like with Sari, because now like it's just a lot going on. Jared is doing a lot, but also Red is in bed with Cameron, and the people don't like Cameron because Sari knows that Cameron wanted to start a different alliance without anybody in the Legend 25 except for. Anyways, it is what it is. Like, there's so much going on in this game and with these people that they're all over the place. So they have like this meeting to solidify with Red and Cameron that Red is going to be safe. Right after that, Mimi and Felicia are like, we shouldn't have did that because him being closer or getting in bed with Cameron is not the move for us. Those two are very dangerous. Potentially, yes, but all Red did was win a veto. Like, Red has not won HOH yet, so we don't know how dangerous he is. But Cameron is that dude. Cameron is the Heisem that they should have got rid of, period. And Heisem should have never left, to be honest, because Heisem and Cameron would have been going back and forth, and I would have been laying in the backside like, oh, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Coasting. It's Red B-Day, and on the live feeds, they were all going back and forth like, should we let him go because it's his birthday? We shouldn't let him go because it's his birthday. What I will say, though, is that through all of the people in this house, Red is like the nicest person. And not unless I'm missing something in the feeds, but like Red is simply just the nicest person throughout this house. Minus Bowie Jane, who has no kind of existence at all in the first 5 weeks of this show. Her existence is null and void. Mimi is a nice person too, but like, I don't understand why we want Red out of the house. He's just a down-to-earth, cool, laid-back, nice person. And I feel bad for Red because he's honestly hurt finding out that Cameron potentially threw him under the bus. Genuinely, honestly hurt. Even with the conversation with him and Cameron at the little jacuzzi pool thing, like, you felt Red's emotions toward Cameron, and I would vibe with somebody like Red in the house. I think Red is a super dope person. Red tells Jared that he wants to validate the conversation or what was exchanged between him and Jared with Cameron being there, because yes, this is Big Brother house and you can't trust everybody, but Red shouldn't have necessarily did that with the HOH, because we were just solidifying your existence in this house, and now you're bringing up red flags to the HOH saying that you don't trust his word with what he told you, and you want to have a conversation with him and Cameron. And like, I wouldn't want to trust that either, if that makes sense. So it's like the lesser of two evils, like Sari said. Do we keep Jag, someone that's running his mouth, or do we keep Red, someone that's running his mouth, with someone that seems to be the most dangerous in the house, which is Cameron, because Cameron is like a roach. He's not going anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's kind of like it's 50-50 with how this week went. I'm just shocked that it was a 2-8 vote. Like, I'm shocked that it wasn't a unanimous situation. But we're going to get to that, baby, because if Cameron know like I know, Red hugs everyone being exiting the house. And his response to being evicted 2-8 leaves him like, he was okay. Like, it just seemed like he was okay. It was not a Michael exit. He was all right, and he made sure that he hugged everybody before leaving. When he left, you can see the salty look on his face, but when he was out in front of Julie or whatever, and he really felt down, and it looked like he wanted to cry. I would have liked Red in the house. I believe that. I believe I would have liked Red in the house and we would have been cool because I just like how level-headed he is. And usually like people, not to be stereotypical, but usually like people that come from like the way the production displayed where he comes from usually has a narrow viewpoint on people and diversity. And Red was just cool with everyone. It seemed like he was cool with everyone and down with everyone. So I appreciate Red for that. And I don't know, I just respect Red. I think he's super dope. Now, I, from the beginning, didn't necessarily care for Cameron and what he's doing and how he is perceived on the live feeds. And, you know, from the beginning when he didn't even acknowledge the people when they walked in the house to now, like his energy is just very shifty and very unreadable, right? But you cannot deny that he is doing what he needs to do to stay in the game. Let me tell you, because when Red exits the house, Cameron is seething. Cameron is upset. And Cameron looks damn good. I just have to give it to him. He looked real clean cut. I like the hair. It's giving me very, what's the man's name? Dang, what's his name? Is it Taylor? Or whatever the man's name. He's on the challenge. I'm so bad with names. Tyler, he's giving very Tyler. But like, he is looking real good. I know a lot of y'all don't like Cameron, but he is looking real good to me. And I'm just like, get him. Get all of them, right? And so you can just see the determination. When Red's face goes black and white, you see the determination. Ain't nobody talking to Cameron, and Cameron ain't talking to nobody. And here come Bowie Jane. I can't wait to win HOH. That's not what she said, but that's basically what she alluded to. Like, it's time for HOH. Like, you gonna do something. Then she goes back to the room to get herself prepared for HOH. Girl, bye, girl. You ain't winning nothing. Bowie Jane ain't about nothing in this show. Ain't been about nothing in the show. We in week 5 still, and Felicia just learned that Jane is her last name. So Bowie Jane ain't nothing in this house. Nothing. But I'm looking. Cameron is ready to go. Y'all tell me why Cameron win this HOH. What? When you see the determination on this man's face to win this HOH and he wins it fair and square, I would have lost this. This is one of the shows, one of the competitions I would have lost. Name that toot. Baby, that video was too long and it was too much time. I would have lost her. I wouldn't have won her. So Cameron would have won. I would have lost. So I give Cameron that. The look on everybody's face when Cameron wins is delightful. Delightful. I love a story that like Cameron's. How Cameron is just surviving in this house, and because he's surviving off merit and the ability to win comps, he's in it for me. He's in it for me. And if Cameron is like anything that he needs to be, he needs to put up Jared and Izzy. Right off the bat. Why? Because Jared put him up just now. Jared had him on the block. Easy explanation. And the other reason, Izzy. Izzy don't like Cameron. Cameron don't like Izzy. It just makes perfect sense to me. One of them come off the block, throw Felicia ass up there. Or Sari. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We got to break that side of the house up. What are we talking about? All these people just sat in front of you and told you that Red, your ride or die is safe. And then they just vote him out 8-2. The only other person that's going to vote with you is Bowie Jane. All these people need to go. What are we talking about here? If Cameron is any kind of player, Jared and Izzy need to go up on the block. But he's sitting here talking about Blue and freaking Jag is going to go on the block. Why? Blue ain't a part of no decision making, and neither is Jag. You really believe and think, Cameron, that Blue and Jag are making the decisions? You really believe at this point, week 5, you have to make love to the side of the house that's put you on the block multiple times? You can even, and backdooring Felicia because Felicia put you on the block. All these people put you on the block. Throw them up. It's easy. Throw them up. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Makes perfect sense to me. Jared and Izzy go up. One of them win veto. Someone come down. Felicia go up. You threw me on the block the week prior. What are we talking about? Anyways, we don't know what Cameron is gonna do, but he's pitching Blue and Jag, which makes absolutely no freaking sense to me. The Legend 25 Alliance is a farce because they sat in your face and told you that your ride or die was safe, and they just voted him out. What are we doing, Cameron? What are we doing, Cameron? Cameron, do not let this be another waste of an HOH. Leave your comments below. Deuces.